Before I start this discussion, I'd like to tell you guys to go check out my last video. There's a lot of information regarding the future of this channel, including BBS and my new upload schedule. So if you haven't seen it already, I highly recommend you go watch it. Now with that out of the way, hey everyone and welcome to another Bleach Brave Souls discussion video. So as I'm sure you're all aware of by now, the second batch of the 1000-year Blood War arc characters have finally been announced. However, we're not going to be covering the information about it since I'm sure you guys have already been bombarded by it by all your other favorite YouTubers. Instead, we're going to be talking about something peculiar that has struck my mind. In July of 2017, K-Lab Games came out and announced that we were finally getting 14 characters from the 1000-year Blood War arc. When you ask someone what characters we're gonna get, you'll hear answers such as Bankai Kisuke, Thundercat Yoruichi, Bankai Yamamoto, Hashvault, Antithesis Uryu, Ichigo, and so on. The main consensus is that the characters we're getting are highly significant. That is until K-Lab turned heads when they announced the second batch included Bankai Zaraki, Bankai Unohana, and YACHIRU Kusajishi? Now, I don't know about you guys, but I cannot think of a single person in this entire community that honestly thought she was getting a spot in this already limited lineup. Now, Kenpachi Zaraki was important for obvious reasons. He quickly dispatched 3 of Yvonne's Sternritter within a few chapters, we see his backstory as a child, and he obtained both Shikai and Bankai within 100 chapters. And last time I checked, there's only one other character we've seen do that in the series. And in regards to Unohana, we finally learned about her entire backstory. She was one of the original Gotei 13, she was the first person to have the title of Kenpachi, and she fought Zaraki so he could unlock his true power. YACHIRU Kusajishi screwed around with one of Grammy's creations, disappeared for over 70 chapters, then revealed to be Zaraki's Zanpakuto, even though that was already theorized to be the case by majority of the community. Now, I'm not saying she didn't have any sort of role within this arc, but it's obvious that it wasn't significant as the other two or the other characters released thus far. So the question we need to ask is, why? Why would K-Lab in their right minds reserve one of the 10 remaining spots to her? Well, I've got a couple of theories in mind, and here to help we've got none other than the infamous Bleach Cowboy. So Cowman, introduce yourself.
What's up everybody, it's your boy Bleach Cowboy.
So the first theory we have is in regards to the concept of themes, and which is why I brought Bleach Cowboy along. Cowboy, care to explain the whole thing of themes within the 1000-year Blood War banners?
So for those of you who don't know what a themed banner is, it's when K-Lab releases a summoning selection in which all the characters involved have a close story relationship to one another. So for example, the latest manga banner features Retsu, Kenpachi, and YACHIRU, and all 3 of those characters are very closely tied together. So this would be an example of a themed banner. Retsu and Kenpachi, they have a long history going back to when Kenpachi was a child, and YACHIRU is Kenpachi's lieutenant. And if you didn't read the manga, be careful for spoilers here. YACHIRU is also the manifestation of Kenpachi's Zanpakuto. So that's an example of a themed banner. Now an example of a non-themed banner is the Silver Flame Gacha, which featured Ryukin, Soifon, and Shinji. And none of those characters have any sort of special relationship to one another. And they're not tied together by plot or anything else like that either, because I don't think Shinji and Soifon, I mean, maybe they spoke once, and Ryukin definitely never spoke to any of those characters or interacted with Soifon or Shinji in any way. So that is an example of a non-themed banner. So K-Lab usually will switch it up. Sometimes they'll have a banner in which all the characters are related story-wise, and sometimes they'll have a banner where none of the characters are related story-wise. So it's an interesting thing to pay attention to. For those of you who aren't too familiar with the plot or the anime or the manga, it probably won't matter to you that much, but it can give you some insight into what types of banners will be coming up next. So, I mean, for example, will they be coming out with more themed banners for manga, or will it just be like the first manga banner where they just kind of picked some characters they thought would be popular?
And thank you for that explanation, Cowman. If you guys aren't already subscribed to Bleach Cowboy, his link will be in the description as well as the end card, so go check him out. Now the next theory or explanation is allocation. What if I told you with the remaining 7 characters, they weren't planning on doing Ichigo, Uryu, or Yavak.
But nerd, they're the most important characters in the arc. They have to.
See, the reason for that is, there are more than 7 left. This concept, like a lot of things, is central about money. Why would K-Lab waste a roster spot to put YACHIRU KUSAJISHI while knowing there are other characters that are infinitely more important to do? It's because they've already planned this out. K-Lab knows they have the potential to do more after these 14. Granted, of course, that the revenue they're pulling in is good. From what I can tell right now, the strategy is to put some B or C-list characters to go alongside the other A-listers. K-Lab doesn't want to play all their cards just yet. That is why I promise you, Ichigo nor Yavak will be included in the rest of these 7 characters. They'll be given to other fan favorite characters. Then eventually they'll get the go-ahead from Shueisha or Shonen Jump to do more. Now I know what you may be asking right now.
Nerd, if you're saying the rest of the 7 characters won't all be the top important ones, then who will they make?
Well, that's a video for another day. But I will say this. If you feel doubtful or skeptical about getting more than just the 14 characters that were promised, never say never. Stay confident and hopeful that there will be more to come. And with that note, I'll end the video here. If you guys did enjoy anything said, be sure to subscribe to Bleach Cowboy as well as myself, like the video and comment down below, give me your thoughts, and swipe off this video. That's all I have for today, and I will see you guys next time.